ॐ निरञ्जनं नित्यमनन्तरूपं भक्तानुकम्पाकृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमीड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामि। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्या स्वरूपान्तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे कालिन्दी फुल्लकमले माधवेन क्रीडारता ब्रह्मानन्दं नमस्तुभ्यं सद्गुरु लोकनायक वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। Today is a very, very auspicious and a sacred day for all of us. To think of Swami Brahmananda ji, one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, he is like thinking of Sri Ramakrishna himself. And thinking of Swami Brahmananda ji again is a meditation for us on Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna is a wonderful gardener who selected the best flowers from the garden of life, and through his blessings and sadhana he beautified the flowers, put fragrance into those flowers, and offered it to the whole world for the spiritual welfare of the whole world. So each one of the direct disciples, from Vivekananda up to Swami Vijnanananda ji, is a powerful spiritual dynamo. With our limited mind, we cannot understand, we cannot measure their depth, their vastness, their intensity, their spiritual caliber. But taking it as our own spiritual practice, our sadhana, we can make some attempt to understand what we can learn from them. The spiritual personalities have to reveal themselves by their grace on all of us. That depends upon our prayer, our sincerity, our devotion. So, when I was trying to take some incidents from the life of Swami Brahmananda ji, it appeared very, very difficult. Because everything appears important. Everything appears interesting. Everything appears elevating. But somehow we have to discuss some incidents and teachings, so that is the way we can recollect, meditate, and try to practice. So spiritual life All of us have three kinds of evolution. Everybody. One is called Sharirika Vikas, the growth of the body from the baby state to the old age. And after old age, death. That is the normal behavior of Prakriti. All of us are born in the level of Prakriti, nature. But spiritual association, satsangam, and some aspiration, some vyakulata, what happens is the mind becomes bigger, not just the body. Manasika Vikas takes place. And should we stop only with the body and the mind? The scriptures tell, the great masters, great spiritual teachers, Sri Ramakrishna and others and all these great disciples say no. Body and mind are only tools. Tools for you to attain something high. That is called Adhyatmika Vikas. Spiritual expansion. In other words, all of us have come from Pashutva, animal state, from the unicellular being called amoeba, to this multicellular body called the human birth. Pashutvam is over. Now we have taken up what is called Manavatvam, Manushyatvam, human birth, which is very rare. After millions of years of evolution, we have come to this level. We alone have got a choice. And what is the choice? I can put a reverse gear and go back to Pashutva. But by satsangam and inspiration and sadhana, etc., we can put a top gear and go to Daivatva, spiritual realization. That is called real state of our being. We have forgotten our state. We have forgotten who we are. We are crawling one over the other. We are suffering. We are getting misery, sorrow, difficulties because we have forgotten our real nature. So when we celebrate birthdays of great masters, great teachers, spiritual teachers mainly, and when we spend a little time in meditation, bhajan and shastrathyayanam, it is a reminder, it's a reflection, it's a recollection. It is recharging our battery. Because our battery is getting lower and lower and lower. Charge is getting less. Light is becoming very dim. We are not able to see 5 feet. Because there is a fog. There is an illusion. There is a delusion. There is attachment. There is detachment. So we are crying in pain. Modern man is like a person deep in a well. He has fallen into a well, dark well, and he is shouting, "Save me, save me." There are wide, there are so many things inside. I'm afraid, I'm not able to see even a little, pitch dark. Then some great soul, compassionate soul comes across, hears to these cries of the suffering man in the well, and maybe first he tries to put a rope. Rope is too small, it is too short, it's not reaching our hand. But then infinite compassion, the Avatara Purushas, Ishvara Kotis, all these people sacrifice their meditation, etc. Not only putting something to help us, but they themselves will come down. They come down because they know the way out. They come and help us out of misery, out of the dark well. So into that great team of saviors, into the great team of spiritual upliftment, falls Swami Brahmananda. No doubt we know so much about Swami Vivekananda, theoretically or through books or through his inspiring talks. But emphasizing too much on Swami Vivekananda, we do a mistake of forgetting the powerful, inspiring teachings of Swami Brahmananda and others. We should not do that mistake. Swami Vivekananda himself would be unhappy. Because he considered Swami Brahmananda as equal to Sri Ramakrishna. That was their attitude, not just to Swami Vivekananda, but all the other 14 disciples. Nothing less than Sri Ramakrishna. They themselves said, whatever I say, you may discriminate. You may think twice before practicing it or implementing it. But when Swami Brahmananda says, without any doubt, without any hesitation, please accept it. Please follow to the word. Don't hesitate, because it is the words of Sri Ramakrishna himself. Sakshat Narayana is speaking through him. Sometimes these direct disciples used to watch Swami Brahmananda walking in the garden in Belur Math. And for a second or a minute, they used to think that it's Sri Ramakrishna walking from the backside. That was that even the physical features, even the way he used to look and walk and talk, it was Sri Ramakrishna in another form. So that is the great life of Swami Brahmananda ji, whom we are thinking of today. He is popularly called as the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna, also called in Sanskrit as the Manasaputra, as the Manasaputra of Sri Ramakrishna. Why that ID card for Swami Brahmananda as the Manasaputra of Sri Ramakrishna? Because Sri Ramakrishna, after realizing the divine, he wanted to share his experiences, share his joy with all the people. But to listen to him, only worldly people used to come immersed in enjoyments, no other goal, just physical enjoyments, Vishayananda. So he prayed to the Divine Mother, "Oh Mother, send me somebody with whom I can share. He should accept my feelings. He should understand me. Please send somebody like that. My lips are burning talking to these worldly people." Then one day when he was sitting near the Ganga, Mother Kali put a child in his lap and said, "He will be your son." For a minute Sri Ramakrishna shuddered. "What? I will also have a son?" He said, "No, my child. It is not the usual physical relationship, not having a physical son, but he will be your Manasaputra." Ordinarily translated, it will be like a mind-born son. But we cannot translate this word into English. So we can call it the spiritual son. Sri Ramakrishna wanted somebody like him, some reflection. So Mother Kali blessed him with that child and said, "He will be your Manasaputra." You want it like that. Another time, when Sri Ramakrishna was sitting and watching the river Ganga flowing by, he saw all of a sudden a beautiful divine vision. He saw a big, beautiful lotus, fully bloomed lotus, over which two young boys were dancing in joy, with anklets, jingling bells. So beautiful was their dance. And that lotus was floating in the Ganga and coming towards him. And the moment he saw one of the boys, he said, "Ah, yes, he is the one Mother showed me." And he recognized that boy to be Rakhal. And this Rakhal was the playmate, childhood friend of Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. And Sri Ramakrishna's vision was tested. It became truthful. Mother has sent Rakhal to be with me, to listen to me. That is how we consider Srimat Swami Brahmananda ji as the mind-born son, Manasaputra, the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna. And from that time, the moment Sri Ramakrishna heard Rakal, he went into ecstasy, because his mind immediately transported to the days of Vrindavan, where the young Bala Gopala was dancing and playing and singing and making all the mischief and all the leelas with his young boys. So Rakal's relationship was not just like any other disciple. It was something very deep, very sensitive, immeasurable from our understanding. It was beyond our human comprehension. Because though physically Swami Brahmananda ji was born 1863, January 21st, a few days after Swami Vivekananda was born, just about 8 days. But the purpose of Swami Brahmananda ji coming, Rakal descending from Sri Krishna Loka to this Bhuloka along with Narayana, the purpose is different. The purpose for which Swami Vivekananda came from the Saptarishi Mandala is different. The purpose that Swami Premananda, Swami Sharadananda and other great direct disciples came was different. But somebody had to be there along with Swami Brahmananda, along with Sri Ramakrishna. Listen to him, talk to him, be with him, play with him. And to such a level, Sri Ramakrishna's relationship with young Rakal was going on in Dakshineshwar. I just picked up a few incidents here and there because it is like a huge ocean. It is so deep, so interesting, so inspiring, so sweet. For example, the relationship between Sri Ramakrishna and Rakal. One day Rakal, young boy, he was very, very hungry. So he told Sri Ramakrishna that he had not eaten from morning. Look at the fatherly affection of Sri Ramakrishna. He immediately rushed towards the Ganga side and he shouted, "Oh Gaurdasi, where are you? Where are you?" All others are hearing. This young Rakal was embarrassed. He felt unhappy because Sri Ramakrishna is announcing that his son is very hungry. So after a few minutes, in a boat, Gauri Ma, who was his own woman disciple and another householder disciple by name Balaram Bose, they came from Calcutta side bringing lot of sweets, lot of delicacies, lot of things. And Sri Ramakrishna took them and started feeding young Rakal. And this young boy, with all his anger and irritation, scolded Sri Ramakrishna. I told you that I am hungry, but is it necessary to announce to the whole world that I am hungry? And Sri Ramakrishna, his fatherly affection, said, "What is wrong there? You are hungry, it's a fact. What is wrong in telling everybody? Now you see, you have got so many things." That is how he used to take care of this young disciple. And along with that, while serving Sri Ramakrishna, Rakal, he was massaging his feet one day, but he was hesitant one time to serve Sri Ramakrishna or to massage his feet. Then Sri Ramakrishna insisted, "I am telling you, serve your Guru, massage my feet. My feet is tired. My legs are paining. Apply some oil and massage my feet." Then with a half mind, half interest, he started massaging his feet. Then what did he see? He saw the Divine Mother Kali, Avadarini, coming from the temple. And as a young girl of 8 or 9 years, she is doing pradakshinam around Sri Ramakrishna's bed, moving around Sri Ramakrishna's bed. Rakal is seeing this. And after doing pradakshinam or moving around Sri Ramakrishna's bed 4 or 5 times, she merged into Sri Ramakrishna's body. He was astonished. He was thrilled. He could not imagine that he would get this darshan. And Sri Ramakrishna very humorously asked, do you see what is the benefit of serving your Guru? You got so much. You did not want to do this. Then from that time, any opportunity he used to serve Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna also used to test him. And one day when he said, give me that mystical experience, give me Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sri Ramakrishna said, no, it is not for you. Your path is different. Rakhal is a young boy. He was a little bit angry, little short-tempered at that time. He threw the oil bottle and ran away out of Sri Ramakrishna's room. He thought he will leave his Guru. And just about he was about to leave the Dakshineshwar temple gate, he felt as if somebody is pulling him back, holding his neck or back and pulling him. He had to come back, some magnetic power. Then Sri Ramakrishna was smiling at him. This is my inner circle. Beyond this you cannot go. You are caught. Where can you go leaving this place? You are mine. Rakhal understood how Sri Ramakrishna is protecting him. So through tests, through fun, through divine experiences, he used to train up this young child into the future, what we know as Swami Brahmananda. In another time, Swami Brahmananda is meditating, young Rakhal is meditating in the temple in Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna goes and touches him and says, there, look your Ishtadevata, have darshan of your chosen deity. So Brahmananda ji, Rakhal opens his eyes and sees his chosen deity. He's filled with joy and ecstasy. And that remained for 2 or 3 days. His ananda, the joy that was coming out from his heart was inexpressible. And under Sri Ramakrishna's care, he spent his time in search of God. Deep sadhana, prayer, meditation. And that is how Sri Ramakrishna was imparting a different kind of training to this young Rakhal. And he alone could have had that wonderful, what you can call the opportunity to be with Sri Ramakrishna, to touch Sri Ramakrishna, to take care of Sri Ramakrishna. So Rakhal learnt another time the power of truth from his own master, Sri Ramakrishna. Because he says, once Sri Ramakrishna said something, it had to be fulfilled. There is no second word for it. If he says, I will go to Balram's house, he has to go, let it be midnight also. If he says, I will not take this, he will not take this. That was his amount of truthfulness. But one day this young Rakhal came from Calcutta, and Sri Ramakrishna could see that there is a dark cloud on his face. Something has gone wrong. And he asked, Rakhal, have you done anything wrong today? But he said, I don't remember doing anything wrong. Any crime, anything? Please think, I'm not able to see your face. Something is wrong today. Then Rakhal recollected what all he had done from morning. He remembered after some time, jokingly he told a lie to his friend. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, see, that is why I am not able to see your face. My child, from today, even for fun, please don't tell a lie. Even for joke, don't tell a lie. If you do that, I will not be able to see you. Rakhal understood for what purpose Sri Ramakrishna came. What is the power of Sri Ramakrishna? What is the foundation of Sri Ramakrishna's personality? It was nothing but truthfulness. Sri Ramakrishna himself says so many times in this yuga, Kali Yuga, truthfulness is tapas. If you are able to maintain that discipline, It is like what in Treta Yuga or Dwapar Yuga people practice different austerities. It is as equal to that. Swami Brahmananda learned another truth from Sri Ramakrishna through his own life and action. Swami Brahmananda ji, after getting that sannyas, formally or informally along with Swami Vivekananda and others, we know that he is a great receptacle, a huge conveyor, a container of love, container of joy, container of the spiritual power. And he was not satisfied with ordinary visions, just a glimpse, because we know when we read the detailed life, the incidents which has come in so many books, Sri Ramakrishna gave him so many experiences. But after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, undergoing so much sadhana in Vrindavan, in Kankal, in Banaras, in Puri, in Bhuvaneshwar, people were surprised. Manasaputra of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna fed you with butter. Sri Ramakrishna blessed you in so many ways. But why should you do so much sadhana? Hours and hours and hours immersed in meditation. What is the necessity? But he said, Sri Ramakrishna gave us the taste. Ruchi chupinchagante. But through our sadhana, we want to make it our own. We want to make that joy permanent. That is why he showed how we have to meditate. That intensity, that vyakulata, that tivrata, one-pointedness, to attain the highest spiritual evolution. And he expected his disciples later on, because he lived up to 1922, to continue that penetration. He said, just swimming on the surface, what will you get? You will get only shells. Samudra Mandala manaki em doruktayi, chilli gaval doruktayi. With that chilli gava we cannot be satisfied, no market value. It's only showpiece. But Samudra Garbhanlo ratnalu untayi. Vajra Vaiduryalu untayi. ఆ సముద్రం ఒడ్డులోకి ముడగాలి, లోపల లోతులోకి వెళ్ళాలి, స్విమ్మింగ్ నేర్చుకోవాలి, ధైర్యంగా ఉండాలి, ఉంది అనే విశ్వాసం మనకు ఉండాలి. ఎప్పుడైతే మనం లోపలికి మునిగామో, సైకాలజీలో అంటారు, స్పిరిచువల్ సైకాలజీలో, ఇట్స్ అన్ ఎఫర్ట్లెస్ ఎఫర్ట్. ఒక చాపలాగా, చాప ఎంత ఎఫర్ట్లెస్ ఎఫర్ట్ దాన్ని కనపడదు స్విమ్మింగ్ చేస్తుంది, బట్ అలా తెలుగుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, స్విమ్మింగ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఆ విధంగా మనం మెడిటేట్ చేయాలి. ఒకరోజు ఇలా మెడిటేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు బ్రహ్మానందజీ అండ్ అలాంగ్ విత్ అదర్ 1 or 2 disciples in Vrindavan, he used to be immersed in meditation. And the other disciples, or other brother disciples, Swami Bodhamayananda, Swami Turyananda, who were always with him, who were protecting him, who were taking care of him. Because Sri Ramakrishna had told these disciples, other disciples, the moment Rakal will understand who he is and from where he has come, that moment he will leave his body. If he realizes that he is Krishna's companion, he will leave his body. Because body is tuchha, impermanent, useless. It is only an empty container. Content is more important. So when he understands who he is, he will forget. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna had instructed other people about Vivekananda also, about Swamiji also. The moment he realizes that who he is, that day or minute he will leave his body. Same thing happened with both these great masters. The moment they were able to understand that they are not this body, or they have come only for some purpose, they belong to the Vaikuntha Dhama or Saptarshi Mandala, they left the body. Within few days, the body became useless. It became infected. with so many diseases. It was just what we call in India as Namkevasti. They just assumed the disease. So that the body from that point of view will crumble, will become dust. So he plunged into meditation. And one day, look at the love, look at the concern, look at the affection of the other disciples, other direct disciples on Swami Brahmananda. Swami Turiyaji went for begging in Vrindavan. One day he did not get any good food. He got only dry chapati, dry bread, and little quantity. And Swami Brahmaji, forgetting all his, this one is absorbed in meditation. Only night time he used to get up and eat a little and then take rest a little, again plunge into meditation. This went on for days and days. And when one day when Swami Turiyaji got this dry little bread, he said, "Brother, Sri Ramakrishna used to feed you with butter, with so many sweets. And look at this fellow, I am not able to feed you with anything, only this dry bread." And he started crying. He could not bear the pain. He said, "How can your mouth bear the pain?" Swami Brahmaji also said, "Doesn't matter, brother. This is what mother is giving, master is giving. But what is important is the joy that they got from meditation or from that sadhana." Then let us see the relationship between Swami Vivekananda and Swami Brahmananda. Each is a spiritual personality, powerful spiritual giants. When Vivekananda came back from America, as we know, after starting the Ramakrishna mission in Balram Bose house, 1897, May 1st, what did Swami Vivekananda do first? Whatever money he had got as donation, as purpose for India's work, he took the whole lot of money and put it in the hands of Swami Brahmananda and said, "Today a big burden has been removed from my head. I have given it to the real king, Raja. Brother, from today you are our Raja." Because Sri Ramakrishna recognized this Rakhal can lead a kingdom. And after a few days he appointed Swami Brahmananda ji as the Adhyaksha, the president of the Ramakrishna Order, the first president. Vivekananda was just the general president, just in record. But all other activities, everything was taken care of Swami Brahmananda ji. Imagine one who was immersed in bhakti, immersed in meditation, immersed in the joy like a fish in water or like an eagle in the sky. Vivekananda made him do this administrative work also. You are a Raja. And one Western gentleman asked Swami Vivekananda some spiritual questions in Calcutta. Pointing to Swami Brahmananda, I said, "If you want to know the correct answer, go and ask that person sitting there." He said, "He's a spiritual dynamo. Go and ask him, you will get all the questions." Look at the attitude or the way Vivekananda was looking at Swami Brahmananda. "You are our elder brother. The elder brother is as good as our guru." When Vivekananda did namaskaram to Swami Brahmananda after coming back from America. And Swami Brahmananda did namaskaram to Swami Vivekananda. Pranam, touching his feet. And Vivekananda is doing namaskaram to Swami Brahmananda. Because each is looking at each other as a divine. That was the bond, that was the attitude which Sri Ramakrishna imparted to these disciples. Both were Nitya Siddhas, Ishvara Kotis. Mahamaya could not come into the realm of Swami Vivekananda because he was a Mahagnani. Ishvara Koti come with the Purnavatara, with the Bhagavan, with the avatars, they come for a purpose. Vivekananda was Ishvara Koti, Swami Yogananda was Ishvara Koti, Swami Brahmananda was Ishvara Koti, assigned certain actions, certain duties in this world. But once when the Belur Math construction was going on, Swamiji had ordered that Ganga water was flooding the Belur Math compound. It was spoiling the whole garden, etc. So he requested Swami Vigrahanandaji and others to take care of it, to build an embankment. And Swami Vigrahanandaji was calculating, was the engineer. Brahmanandaji was the president and he was taking care of the cash and accounts. After some time it found the expenditure was more than the budget allotted. So who is responsible for this? Raja is responsible. Call Raja immediately. Vivekananda, though he was having the total control, he scolded Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmanandaji so much, so furiously. All others were shocked, did not expect that reaction from Swamiji. And Raja Maharaj ran away into the room, locked his room and cried and cried and cried. He could not bear so much of scolding from his own brother. And when Swamiji came to know of this, he started crying. Brother, Sri Ramakrishna fed you with butter and I am giving these scoldings. I will not live here, I will go away from this place. I will go to Haridwar. I will go to Himalayas and meditate. I am not fit to stay because I have scolded you. Then what was the reaction of Swami Brahmananda, Raja Maharaj? He hugged Swami Vivekananda and said, brother, if you don't scold, who will scold us? Who will correct us? And what you are is Sri Ramakrishna. It's like Sri Ramakrishna scolding, please don't worry that you have scolded us. It is good for us. It's your blessing. You have blessed us by this scolding. And he told other disciples who were watching all this Leela going on, do you think who Naren is? He is Sakshat Shiva. Don't think he is ordinary. And Vivekananda is telling, do you know who he is? He said, Dynamo spirituality. He is Krishna's friend. So that was the relationship between Swami Brahmananda and Swami Vivekananda. Then we find having been the president of the order from 1900 officially till 1922. 22 years taking on the burden of the Ramakrishna order without Vivekananda. But of course, Holy Mother was there to guide them, bless them. But it had to pass through so many difficulties. On one side, expansion, hospitals, service programs, monasteries. On the other side, spiritual training. Because Swami Brahmananda, Raja Maharaj, whom we call as Raja Maharaj, with a wink's notice, just like all of us will go within a second into sleep. Within a second, he used to be merged in that Krishna Bhava, into the divine consciousness. So he had a different kind of training. Shishuliki training iche vidhanamaindi veru. Vivekananda varu school master, headmaster laga task master aithe ee oka adhyatmika veru. He never appreciated holy work. He said, you have not come here for that. You have to plunge into meditation. And that was his way. The words he used, plunge into meditation. Don't swim on the surface. There alone you will get real joy. And he insisted, he used to make the disciples sit by his side and see how they are meditating. What is the level of the mind? See what a fortunate disciples they were. Fortunate people they were. Guruve pagan kurchobeti dhyanam cheyinchu. నీ మనస్సు తత్వం ఎంతో, మనస్సు లెవెల్ ఎంతో నేను కౌంట్ చేస్తాను, క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాను. ధ్యానం చేయి. ముడుగు ధ్యానంలో ప్రోత్సహించేవారు, ఆ స్ఫూర్తి ఇచ్చేవారు, దారి చూపించేవారు. స్వామి అభేదానంద అంటారు చాలా చక్కగా బ్రహ్మానందజీ గురించి. వాట్ వాజ్ హిస్ మెయిన్ వెపన్? What was his fault? And foundation ఏమిటి జీవితంలో, ఆయన టీచింగ్స్లో? Love was the dominant theme of his character. Love was the dominant theme in his character. No other loss but love. No other loss. సంఘంలో ఎన్ని నియమాలు చేసినా, ఎన్ని క్రమశిక్షణ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ చేసినా కొంతమంది దాన్ని పాటించేవారు కాదు, పాటించడానికి సాధ్యమయ్యేది కాదు. ఇప్పుడు బ్రహ్మానంద చెప్పేవారు, ఇతరులకి కంప్లైంట్స్ వచ్చేవి, ఫలానా బ్రహ్మచారి ఫలానా శిష్యుడు ఇలా పాటించలేదు, సరిగ్గా రొటీన్ ఫాలో చేయడం లేదంటే తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి పిలిచి శిక్షణ ఇచ్చేవారు, కొంచెం మద్దలు ఇచ్చేవారు. But he said, they have come here leaving their mother, father, everybody with the faith. What should I give you? What should I give them? It is only love. He used to convert them, train them through this weapon called love. Swami Shardanandaji says, when I say something, Swami Shardanandaji is telling to another disciple, when I say something, you should judge and discriminate before doing it. But when Maharaj says something, that means when Swami Brahmananda says something, you may safely accept it as truth without the slightest doubt, because in him is Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is telling this. Sri Ramakrishna is making him do this. Then Maharaj's entire life up to 1922. Remember, on the one hand, he is the president of the order, heavy responsibility. And at that time, the order is growing and growing, expanding. More and more people coming to know about Vedanta, know about Vivekananda, know about our great culture. And these great dynamos were living. Because they all lived with Vivekananda, they thought, yes, Velurmat is the place for us. It was the place for revolutionaries. It was the place for British freedom fighters. Many of Swami Brahmanandaji's disciples were all freedom fighters. Swami Nikhilananda, Swami Prabhavananda, were all powerful yogis who were trained in all these ways. So at that time, along with the responsibilities, the administrative work, so Brahmanandaji was immersed in joy, divine absorption, divine feelings. And wherever he went, though he was president, he had all the freedom. He could go to any place, stay as long as he liked in meditation. So most of the time, he used to spend in Kankal, that's little near Haridwar, Vrindavan, because he belonged to that place, Krishna's place. Benares, the seat of Shiva. Puri, the seat of Jagannatha. Bhubaneswar, he liked very much because of Shiva's place, Lingaraja. He said this is the place where the Lord is living. So he used to spend a lot of time in Bhubaneswar. His room is still preserved in our Bhubaneswar center. The building is preserved where he lived. His articles are there. The bed which he used to sleep, the plate we used to eat, all are worshipped or preserved with great devotion. So because these people had that spiritual intuition, spiritual tuning, they used to understand, so Brahmaji especially, to all his disciples he used to tell, when you go to a place of pilgrimage, Kankal, Uttarakashi, or Rameshwaram, or Tirupati, or any other place where the Lord is living, just don't go as if you are visiting only for some time. Find out the spiritual vibrations. In each place there is a spiritual vibration. There is a time for it. In Vrindavan he used to tell it is in the early mornings. In Benares it is midnight. At that time you should get up and meditate. You should not sleep away. That time the great masters, great rishis will be alive, will be meditating. So you should tune your mind with that. So accordingly when the muhurtam comes, when he hears the bell, the midnight bell or the early morning arati, he used to get up and make others get up and meditate. Because he used to encourage them. He said, don't waste your time. You have not come here just for tourism. You come here for that spiritual, absorb that spiritual vibrations. And when in Belurmat, early morning used to get up, sit quietly, watching the Ganga. Then one sevak, an assistant used to come, take care of him, give him some water or something to wash. So he used to make the disciple sit, that sevak sit near him, and he used to like a particular stotram of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. It goes like this: Hari Haraye Namaha, Krishna Madhavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha, Gopala Govinda Rama Shri Madhusudana, Giridhara Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Hari Haraye Namaha, Krishna Madhavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha, Gopala Govinda Rama Shri Madhusudana, Giridhara Gopinatha Madana Mohana. He used to make them repeat this again and again with music. And the moment every day this sevak used to repeat this sloka, Swami Brahmananda ji used to remain absorbed in samadhi. And Swami Brahmananda ji is watching all this. Another direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He himself is Pavitrata Swarupa. He is like Radha Amsha. He had also the only permission to touch Sri Ramakrishna because he said Babu Ram's purity is to the bones, to the core of his bones. So much purity. He is Radha Amsha. Then Swami Brahmananda is watching. The moment Swami Brahmananda used to be absorbed in meditation or samadhi, he used to come silently, touch his feet with his forehead, do Shashtanga Namaskaram and quietly go. All others were surprised. He said, at that moment, Maharaj is in tune with Sri Ramakrishna. If I touch him with my forehead, it is as good as touching Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna is Krishna. Sri Ramakrishna is Rama. Sri Ramakrishna is Purnavatar. Premananda ji got the opportunity. And he used to do it every day in Belurmat. That was their attitude, that was the way they were looking at Swami Brahmananda's spiritual caliber. And coming to Bangalore, he inaugurated the Bangalore Center, and with the help of Swami Ramakrishna, he came down to South, came down to Madras, went to Rameshwaram, went to Madurai Meenakshi Darshan. In Kanyakumari, he was laughing. When he went to the temple, Swami Brahmananda ji, Raja Maharaj was laughing. Like a child, others were surprised. Ramakrishna ji also was surprised. Normally a serious man is laughing, seeing the mother. And afterwards he told, Shashi, do you know why I am laughing? I saw the young girl, Kanyakumari, giggling. Her laughter is making me laugh. What do I and you see? We'll see the image, do namaskaram, take prasadam and come. Hari Manabhakti. అక్కడ వెళ్ళినప్పుడైనా అవకాశం ఉంటే ఈ కథలు ఆలోచిస్తే చాలు. మనకి దర్శనం రాదు అది ఖచ్చితం. బికాస్ మనమంతా మూఢమతే, సూపర్లేటివ్ డిగ్రీ శంకరాచార్య అంత ఫూల్స్ కూడా కాదు, అతి ఫూల్స్ మూఢమతే. మధురై మీనాక్షికి వెళ్ళారు, మధురై టెంపుల్కి వెళ్ళారు స్వామి బ్రహ్మానందజీ. అక్కడ సంప్రదాయస్థం, బ్రాహ్మణులు తప్ప ఎవరు లోపల వదలరు. అయితే శశి మహారాజ్ ఒక ప్లాన్. బ్రహ్మాజీ ఇలా మెల్లిగా నడుచుకొని పెడుతున్నారు లోపలికి. ఉన్నట్టుండే శశి మహారాజ్ ఏం వచ్చిందో వెంటనే ఆళ్వార్ 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 అని పెద్దగా వచ్చారు. అక్కడ ఆళ్వార్లు అంటే అందరూ సాష్టాంగ నమస్కారం చేస్తారు. హైయెస్ట్ వైష్ణవ భక్తులు అందరూ దారి విడిచేశారు. ఈ ఆళ్వార్ గారు లోపల పెడుతున్నారు, శశి మహారాజ్ తీసుకెళ్తున్నారు, ఆళ్వార్ చేశారు. అక్కడ 3-4 hours ఇంకొక 1 more step పెట్టలేకపోయారు బ్రహ్మానందజీ. సాక్షాత్ మీనాక్షి దర్శనం, సాక్షాత్ మీనాక్షి దర్శనం. 3-4 hours అక్కడ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ అంతా ఛార్జ్ అయిపోయి ఇతర భక్తులకి కూడా ఆ ఒక వైబ్రేషన్స్ తగ్గుతూ ఉంటాయి. శశి మహారాజ్ ఇంకా ఆయన ముట్టుకోవడానికి కూడా ఆయనకి భయపడేవారు. 3-4 hours అలాగే నిండిపోయి కన్నీళ్లు కారుతూ మీనాక్షి తల్లిని చూస్తున్నారు బ్రహ్మానందజీ. తరువాత బెంగళూరులో ఈ హర్డ్ రామనామ సంకీర్తనం పాడడం, మ్యూజికల్గా చాలా చక్కగా పాడేవారు సౌత్ ఇండియన్ రాగంలో. Then he thought, let me take these lyrics and everything to Belur. Then he had his own disciples who were great musicians. He showed them the script and made them sing and added some more stotrams of Tulsidas and Valmiki and others, and said every Ekadashi day let Ramanam Sankirtan be sung in all our centers. So from that time, Ramanam Sankirtan introduced on every Ekadashi because of Swami Brahmanandaji's vision. He went to Banaras, and there Ramanam Sankirtan is going on. There is a beautiful temple of Hanuman called Sankatamochan in Banaras. So all the disciples directly, and Swami Brahmanji went. Ramanam Sankirtan is going on, Swami Brahmanji is sitting there, and suddenly he saw an elderly man with long hair, covered with a white chadar, coming and directly sitting in front of him and seeing him. Brahmanji also is seeing him. For others, some man has come seeing him. And afterward, that white man, white hair, etc., is going away. Again, another time, he is coming and sitting there in front of Swami Brahmananda and quietly going away, and the Ramanam Sankirtan is over. Then they were surprised. Anybody directly seeing Raja Maharaj is very difficult. How is that man? Who is that man sitting? And afterwards going away. Then the disciples went and said, Maharaj, whom are you seeing? Who is that person? Hey fool, don't you know? He is Mahavir Hanuman. He is giving his darshan to me every day. Ramanam Sankirtan is coming. He is also sitting there and enjoying. And as soon as that white chadared man went out and these disciples heard that Mahavir has come, they ran outside to see. And what did they see? Black-faced monkeys. They were sitting outside the tree. They were so disappointed. He said, Raja Maharaj was smiling. How can you see? Because of that faith, Hanuman comes. Maybe he may come here also, in the second body. We may not be able to see who is Hanuman, who is Ramaya. He will not know. Because Brahmani was tuned to that high spiritual consciousness, which cannot be understood by our limited buddhi. We can only appreciate, we can only feel the joy. Yes, so Brahmani lived amongst us, and his disciples were there. They had this proof, they had the authenticity, they had the pramana. This is not just superstitious stories. That gives us what is called faith. That makes us more and more inward, and we can hold on to that great teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. And when Sri Ramakrishna was talking, Swami Brahmanji used to take down certain teachings. It's not just only Master Mahashi or Mahendranath Gupta that was recording whole thing. Another disciple also was recording, was writing down Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. But to one particular disciple, Sri Ramakrishna said, no, it is not for you. You need not write. So whatever he had written, he had thrown it into the Ganga. But Swami Brahmanji had remembered certain things. Later on in his life, he recollected and used to note it down. So that became another small book. It's available. It is called Words of the Master by Swami Brahmananda. At that time, he never talking with anybody. Used to be absorbed in meditation and occasionally complete the book later on after many years. Words of the Master recorded by Swami Brahmananda. Swami Shardaji writes, whatever Raja had written is authentic. He experienced that. And that book also is very, very useful for our spiritual practice. Words of the Master. Then another one or two small incidents and we will close. Thinking about Swami Brahmanandaji's personality, and may he bless us all. His concern for devotees. concern for the people who were suffering. One boy, he had bad company. He was leading a very immoral life, a very sinful life, an addict, a liquor addict. Every day evening he used to go to the wine shop and go out drinking, young fellow. But occasionally he used to come, make pranam and go away. But seeing his goodness, some amount of goodness is there. Then Swami Brahmananda said, my child, I know you will not leave your bad habit. But I request you one thing. Whenever you do anything, whenever you do any work, go anywhere, just once think of me. Medicine started. మందు పనిచేస్తుంది. సరే అది ఒప్పేసుకున్నాడు. వెళ్ళాడు వైన్ షాప్కి. ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరూ కూర్చొని ఉన్నారు. అందరూ ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తున్నారు. వాళ్ళ లోకంలో వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు. ఇతను వైన్ గ్లాస్ తీసుకుని నోట్లో పెట్టుకునే ముందు వెంటనే గుర్తొచ్చింది, ఆయన మాట ఇచ్చాను. ఒక్కసారి ఆయన ముఖము, ఆయన ఒక మాట మనసు గుర్తొచ్చింది. ఆ వైన్ గ్లాస్ అలా పెట్టేశాడు. మందు స్టార్టెడ్ వర్కింగ్. రెండోసారి మళ్ళీ అదే హ్యాబిట్ పెట్టాడు, అదే షాప్కి వెళ్ళాడు. ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ అంతా సో బ్యాడ్ అండ్ సో థింగ్ దట్ ఐ రిమెంబర్డ్, బిఫోర్ ఐ డూ సంథింగ్ ఐ షుడ్ థింక్ ఆఫ్ Brahmananda. Within 3-4 days he stopped all the other bad habits which he was doing for many years, and he became a good fellow. Brahmananda saved his soul from disaster. That concern, Patita Pavana, we sang just now, Patita Pavana, Ramanama. Those who are falling down, it will raise up. Krishna Nama, Ramakrishna Nama. So Brahmananda ji, because of his concern for the people who are suffering, he gave this medicine and trained them and saved them from disaster. And at the same time, he was like Sri Ramakrishna, full of joy, full of fun, full of humor. People are surprised, man who is always in that highest samadhi, he is playing with children, playing hide and seek game, playing hide and seek. And once he had a bear skin, and he wore that bear skin and tried to attack the children, and seeing their fear, etc., he started laughing. And then when he removed that bear skin, children also were very happy. Oh Maharaj, it is you, you are making fun at us. So much joy, so much ananda he used to spread among all the disciples and devotees. Then we find many young children used to come to Balram Mandir. So Brahmananda would play with them as though he was a child. He also had become a child. And Shashi Maharaj used to tell. He looked upon Sri Ramakrishna as Swami Brahmananda as Sri Ramakrishna himself. He brought him to South India, and wherever he went, just like taking care of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Brahmananda ji was taken care of at every step. Swami Brahmananda ji had the power to change the atmosphere of the place and to make it vibrate with spirituality. Problems solved in his presence, and people would forget themselves, their ego, and be filled with intense bliss. In all the temples, wherever he went in South India. And when he went to Tirupati, he did not see Venkateshwara Swami. He saw the Divine Mother, Durga. And said, Maharaj, this is Vishnumurti's image. No, my heart says, I saw the Divine Mother smiling at you. So we cannot comprehend what kind of visions they used to have. Because with our ordinary understanding, we can go, how can Brahmananda see? We can go and lead us to arguments. No. His vision, he saw, he says, I cannot say anything, I saw the Divine Mother in the sanctum sanctorum. Garbha Gudilo, Garbha Devali, center lo, Vishnumurtini చూడలేదు, Durga చూశాను, దేవిని చూశాను అన్నారు. So ఆ విధంగా spreading his fragrance, spreading his spiritual vibrations all over the Ramakrishna mission centers, and there are so many reminiscences, so many disciples. who have recorded both householders and also the monastic disciples, because up to 1922 there are so many people listening. There are 4 books, very important, which all of you can read and understand more and more incidents, unknown facts, so that all of us can lead a fantastic life, a spiritual life. Number 1 is They Lived with God, 16 Disciples story. The second book is called The Eternal Companion, which is recorded by Swami Brahmananda ji and Swami Yatishwarananda ji. The third, Swami Brahmanji as we saw him, nearly about 400 pages of reminiscences of so many monks and other disciples. And the fourth is Reminiscences of Swami Brahmananda, which is translated from Bengali into English. It's available in our bookshop. The first two Telugu translations are there. Other 2 are not there because they are later books. They have not yet been made. They Lived with God, Daivatto Sahajivanam. Eternal Companion, Swami Brahmananda Bodhanalu. But these 2 are very extraordinary. Brahmananda ji as we saw him, Reminiscences of Swami Brahmananda. Subheading is The Mind-Born Son of Sri Ramakrishna, translated by Swami Bhaskara.